Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Voice of Logic. This is episode 2, and today's episode is going to be a little shorter than usual, so I'll be concise and get straight to the point. So, today I wanted to shed some light on this whole drag queen fiasco, this chaos that is currently consuming our nation. And apparently, a governor from Montana, or the state of Montana, shout out to all them people. What's over there, by the way? I mean, I never hear a peep from Montana. From what I know, there's no one out there. Even though I know there is, but still, let me know what's out there because I have no idea what's in Montana. And like I said, I never hear a peep, but I'm glad I heard this one. Apparently, a governor from Montana has signed a bill into law prohibiting these quote unquote drag queens, these men, from being in the presence of any child in public libraries and public schools. This is exactly what we've needed all along. Ever since this whole fiasco, since the very beginning, this is what we've needed. And obviously, not even George Washington himself, not even Thomas Jefferson, all of the founding fathers, they could have never saw this coming. This chaos, this mentally ill ideology, they could have never saw this coming. You think so? You think they would have been like, "Hey, Thomas, in 200 years, people are going to be questioning everything they already know to be true, their identity, their gender, all these thoughts. They're going to be pushing all this." They would have never known because they would have thought we would have remained sane and we would have sticked to our principles, core principles, and the facts of life. This is the fact of life. The point is, you cannot be cross-dressing, especially in the presence of children. Imagine if you're a parent, or shout out to all your moms and dads out there. Imagine if you were to see your child, you just turn around for a quick second and then you look at your child again playing in the playground. All of a sudden you see this grown man with a beard, armpit hair and everything talking to your kid. How would that make you feel? I would be enraged. And I'm not a parent yet. I'm not a dad, but I will be one day. And if I were to see a drag queen even talking to my child, near my child, I'd grab my child and go away and scream at that sick idiot and tell him, "What are you doing near my child? What are you even talking to my child for? Get away. Get away." Because you are indoctrinating said child. You are influencing with your appearance, because yes, you can influence with your appearance. You are influencing to them that this is an acceptable way of dress, and it is not. It is not. Just because hear me out. Just because something's not illegal doesn't mean it's all right to do it. So and it also doesn't mean that you could just keep expanding, keep pushing barriers where we do not allow the said barriers to be pushed. For example, before, when being gay was illegal and this whole trans thing was illegal, y'all were fighting, all you LGBT plus IZI whatever alphabet people were fighting for all this, that it should not be illegal, blah blah blah. Okay, fine. It's not illegal. It's not, obviously it's still legal. It's still illegal in some places, but for the most places in the U.S., it's legal. For example, all you guys wanted to be liberated really from the legality of LGBTQ, and once that was done, that wasn't enough for you guys. You guys didn't win that whole thing, rightly so, by the way. Y'all should be allowed to pursue whatever makes you happy, but you weren't happy with that. No, you LGBT plus whatever alphabet transformer Optimus Prime people, you guys were not happy with that. You decided that no, not only do I need to be allowed to do certain behavior, I want to be promoted. I want to be applauded for engaging in such behavior. Absolute. This is where we have to draw a line as a country, and the whole world needs to draw the line here, because this is pushing your ideology on someone else. You are free to express yourself until you are causing immediate harm or you present a danger to someone else. Once that happens, your liberties are gone, just like that. That is it. No rights, all that out the window as soon as someone else is in probable danger. And it constitutes that. Why? Because you are influencing, like I said, with your appearance, a certain way, a certain ideology, a certain way of living. And that way of living, this whole transformer and LGBT alphabet stuff, all that is not the way to live. We as a country need to put an ideal way of living. We have to say, you know what? This is what you should be doing. Just like how we tell everyone to go to school, blah, 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 go here. That's all fine. We have to be pushing that, but we also have to say, find a wife, have a child, contribute to society, get a great job, focus on your career, man. Women, focus on your career, get married, have kids, settle down, never work a day in your life, enjoy your family for the rest of your life, and pursue your passions. We need to be saying all that. We need to be putting a message out there, because at the end of the day, if we just tolerate everything, then we are no different from the crazies. I said in the first episode, we're no different from the insane people, because we don't stand for anything. We don't have limits to society, and that's what the U.S. government needs to impose. Needs to say, look, this is the ideal way life. It is scientifically proven. Man and a woman are meant to come together in their adult years, procreate, have a family, and that's it. That's it. Obviously, there's a societal standards. Get a job, go get a degree. I agree that everyone should be educated, but not about sexuality, especially with these young children being super impressionable. Looking at this, you don't think the child knows when you're playing dress up? You don't think he knows? Because he knows. You don't look nothing like his mom. You have hair on your face. You have hair on your armpits. You have hairy legs. Obviously, the child's going to know what you're doing, and he's going to take from that experience. He's going to be like, well, maybe it's okay. It must be okay, because no one's telling him anything, and that's the point. We should not be allowing this. And props to that governor. Montana, you're a dub state. You're better than California right now. And you've been irrelevant basically the whole time, but now you are much better than California. Salute to you. California especially is in shambles. All these other states that are not getting behind this, in shambles. Y'all need to get behind this. How are you not behind this? And if I were in power, in a political place of power, which even if I wasn't, I would still be pushing this ideology. We need to draw a line now. It's fine. We can still be free, and we can still encourage the pursuit of happiness, but there has to be a line to such thing. So, for example, if you want to be gay, if you want to do this, if you want to be a Transformer Optimus Prime, that's okay, but don't expect us to promote. Do you know why? Because the Transformers, the Optimus Primes, the Mirages of the world, they are a huge minority. Even Gatorade people are a huge minority in this country. In no sense are they the majority, nor will they ever be. Because if gay people become the majority, or Optimus Primes become the majority, we will lose a significant part of the population. Do you know why? Because everyone knows you need a man and a woman to procreate. So, according to you, I'm being toxic, I'm being homophobic or transphobic. Obviously, I am. You could go ahead and live to yourself, but do not go crying around your boss or crying around to the media outlets saying no one applauds me for engaging in this behavior. Obviously not. It should be the exact same way if I were to come out and say, I want to identify as a prisoner, as a rapist. I want to go out there, rapist, sorry, for the YouTube algorithm. I want to go out identify as the murderer. And imagine if they were to allow me to do that, and then all of a sudden I come back and say, oh, I feel like I'm not appreciated. I need to be appreciated. You all need to help me out and support me, push me out there in media outlets saying that this is okay. You all would look at me like I'm freaking crazy. Put me in jail. Put me in a mental institution. It's the exact same thing. You are engaging in something that is not natural, not supposed to be done, not supposed to be engaged in. You are engaging in behavior, that's fine. If you want to go do that, that's fine. But there are consequences to your actions. That's what the problem with most extreme feminists, woke people, and even these LGBT alphabet, they lack accountability. They want to be able to do all this, but they don't want to accept or even acknowledge the huge impact that they could have on the population. You as an alphabet person and as a transformer, you need to recognize that this is not the way to live, but you are choosing to live that way. That's different. If you were to say, you know what, I want to be a Mirage, I want to be the Bumblebee, and I want to go and engage in these extreme behaviors, then that's fine. But I would not be pushing it on everyone. I would not be doing all that. I would not even be asked to be promoted like that. I just keep to myself. That is how you should be live and be treated, because this is not the way to live. This will never be an acceptable way to live. We are meant to be with a man and woman, and that's the message that the United States needs to push out. We need to say, look, The ideal life is for you as a man to work hard in your career, become the best man you can be. Do not be overweight. Like I said, be in shape. Be in a healthy mental state. Learn to control your emotions. Have discipline. Learn about responsibility, delayed gratification. Be the best man you can be. Eventually, find a woman, marry her, have a child with her, have a family, contribute to society. Both of you as a family contribute to society, and that's it. That's the ideal life. Retire, enjoy your life. Obviously, I don't agree with that whole retirement part. The whole retire when you're 60 years old, when you barely have knees. Obviously, I don't agree with that. But still, that's the message U.S. needs to be pushing out right now. Because if they're not, then what do they stand for? I ask you, government, what do you stand for? Are you going to allow this to go on like this is the majority? This is not the majority. They will never be the majority, like I said. So why are we promoting like it is? It just makes no sense. Stop promoting them in movies and all that stuff because this is not relevant to us. What is not relevant to the majority is literally irrelevant. If someone else wants to be different from everyone else and stand out and push barriers where they don't need to be pushed, for example, gender, for example, identity, all this identify as all this, non-binary, all that stuff, this whole gender stuff, you are pushing boundaries where they cannot be pushed. You are going against Mother Nature and overall basic human nature law. There is a such thing as genders because there is a difference between a man and a woman. That constitutes gender. This is not a social construct. This is just the way it is. This is just how it's identified. Two genders, a man and a woman, whether you like it or not. A man and a woman are meant to be together to procreate, and that is the end of it. That is it. That is how it should be going. If you choose to live differently, well, there we go. You live differently, but no one's going to be promoting you. No one's going to applaud you for trying to be different. The majority of people are not criminals, right? But then you get the odd anomaly who goes and becomes a criminal. Are they applauded? Absolutely not. They're just, okay, you do what you do. But there's consequences. And that's the same thing we tell you guys. I'm not comparing criminals to Transformers. We're pushing it, but still, I'm not comparing you to. There's obviously a different degree of offense between those two behaviors. I recognize that. Relax, calm down. But we need to recognize that if you are to engage, and the U.S. needs to be pushing that message out. If you're going to do all this stuff, that's fine. But don't expect us to push. Don't expect us to promote you because that is not the way of life. That is not how we're supposed to be. And that is what I wish to see in this country and in every state. So whatever we have to do, pushing these laws and saying, you know what, if you dress like this, if you dress it's like something you're clearly not, you're just playing stupid dress up in real life. If you're going to be like that, you cannot be around children. You cannot be anywhere in a position of influence because you are a threat to a child's way of thinking and a child's ideology. And that is the ideology of the child is completely down to the parents. We should not be teaching this stuff in schools. We should probably mention the fact that they exist, but that is about it. That is it. There's a very fine line. You don't go saying, oh, this is how we should be. This is how we should be. Look at this. Let's bring in this person to talk about their experiences and why they cut off their genitals at such age to become a said gender, or what they try to be, but they never will be. All of that stuff that you push, that is all being integrated in the child's mind, and that's just the parents' responsibility, especially when it comes to sexuality. The whole education system itself needs to be reformed. I've said it before and I'll say it again. And it just needs to be turned around, and it needs to be focused more on real life than all this. They put you under mental duress with all these Y equals MX plus B, and I'm not saying it shouldn't be in the curriculum and all that, but it should not be the main focus in high school. In high school, you're preparing to go into adult life. You're preparing to go face the world and pursue your dreams. The last thing you want to know is what formula goes here or what formula, because you're not going to use that in life. It's irrelevant. Okay, yeah, during middle school years, put me through all that mental duress and push me to my academic limits. But in high school, I'm ready to go real life, man. I'm 1 year away from going to real life, or 2 years away if you're a junior. Yeah, I need to be learning about how to file taxes. I need to be learning about how to replace a tire. General things that you need in life that everyone should be learning. How to open a credit card account, all that, credit cards, the importance of credit cards, debit cards, all this stuff that we utilize in our daily lives. That's what should be taught in high school. That's what should be prioritized. Obviously, your general education, like history, all these subjects, but that's fine. But the majority, the main focus of high school should always be preparing you for the real life. And this, no one's gonna learn anything from formulas, how to craft something. No, absolutely not. That should be on the side. That should be something that's done on the side. But the main message, we need to be focusing on what we teach our children. And when we allow these sick weirdos to be around our children, that just influences them, whether you like it or not. It's just influences them, and they start to think this is an acceptable way, and that carries on with them into adulthood. Gays are not born. Alphabet people are not born. Transformers are not born. They're made. They are made by their surroundings. And we have to, as a country, as a people, as a one populace, we have to establish guidelines in society. That has always been my message. Establish guidelines. And we will not rest. I will not rest until that is done. That reality is set alight. So that is my message. That's what I want to say about this whole drag queen fiasco. They should definitely not be allowed anywhere near our schools, and they should not be holding any position of influence whatsoever, because at the end of the day, what they do is influential. Whatever they do, however they dress, that is all influential to the wrong person, to the impressionable child, all of that stuff. We need to put guidelines as a society, as a country, say this is the ideal way to live. If you go against that, that's on you. But as soon as you start to try and indoctrinate other people, that's where we step in and we say, no, that you can't do that. And that is what I want to see, and that's what we deserve. We deserve this. We deserve this level of rationality. Yet we're not seeing that in today's society. So that's what I want to push in today's episode, and we'll keep pushing that as we go. But all right, thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for watching. Feel free to comment, subscribe, like, whatever you want to do. That's fine. All on you guys. I'll see you guys next episode. Thank you.